Welcome to another live episode of Unleashing the Future of Work, a guide podcast. I hope you are having an amazing morning or afternoon or evening, no matter where you're tuning in from. And in fact, let us know where you're viewing and watching the episode from today. Please comment and we'll show you some love as we go on throughout the episode. I am just sitting here in my lovely bedroom in Oakland, California. It's so exciting to be back home in Oakland. It's so beautiful out here. The sun is shining, the trees are green. It's really peaceful, even though in spite of all of the things that are going on in the world. With that said, I'm excited to talk a little bit about marketing, leadership, and entrepreneurship with a really amazing guest today, Cameron Tendler, who is a serial entrepreneur who began his career working at McDonald's at the age of 15 and eventually worked at several different companies and network marketing businesses until the age of 21, when he started his own personal training company in the competitive sports and fitness market of Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley. And after the successful run of that business, Tendler moved to Las Vegas and started his own photography company in 2014. So he's tuning in and watching this episode, and he's going to be having this conversation with me from Las Vegas. He eventually, from that point, went to co-found Playa Oasis Media with his business partner and one of our great friends, Sean Copeland, in the summer of 2019. While developing PO Media, Tendler has recently started his own business and consulting company focused on strategy and operations, branding and IT, and currently, while growing PO, which is Playa Oasis Media, and Tendler Strategies is his personal business that's still in its infancy stage. What he's doing right now is also looking at starting his own lifestyle and apparel line, along with his own business advisory board, which is huge. We're going to probably dive deep on that, and nonprofit and ad agency. So as you can tell, Cameron is a guy that has a lot going on, and we're going to discuss a little bit about it, his entrepreneurial hustle, his background, and really what led him to doing the work that he does now. Cameron, what's up, buddy?
Tim, how's it going, man?
It's going good. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Excited to be on today.
Oh, dude, thank you for finding the time. So you're tuning in from Las Vegas, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So what's been going on in your world? I mean, there's a lot that's been going on in the world. It's been crazy, man. How have you been feeling about it?
It's absolutely been nuts. I mean, everything's been shut down, but Las Vegas is coming back. We're in our phase 3 of reopening, and pretty much the whole city has reopened for the most part, besides nightclubs and that such. But everything else is open. It's getting back to some kind of normalcy, which whatever that may be, we'll see.
How long have you been living in Las Vegas?
I've been here 6 years now.
6 years, man. So what brought you to Las Vegas? Was it business?
Partially business, family. My father had been living out here for several years before I moved out. And I mean, Los Angeles, it's a great city. I was born and raised there. I love it. Always have love for it. But it's expensive to live there unless you're in the movie or TV industry. I saw no point in living there. And I was working with a company, and that was going good. And then that kind of went down. And my dad said, why don't you move out to Vegas, start anew, and jumped on the opportunity.
Wow, that's amazing. Dude, I would love for you to share with us, because you've always had this very entrepreneurial streak throughout your career. When did you start falling in love with, I just guess, building businesses that you believe in?
I want to say my whole life. I have ADHD, and I don't blame ADHD, but that's partially why I don't like taking, answers from people and answering to someone. I'd rather work for myself, and I've always kind of been that way since I was young. I started a job at 15, started working, and I worked for a couple different companies, and I realized, I don't like answering to anyone. So, I went into network marketing at that time, learned some of the leadership skills and such, and then started building my own businesses in the training field. And then when I moved out to Vegas, worked for a company and then started my own photography company and so on and so forth.
So tell me a little bit more about when you were working in network marketing, because a lot of people are pretty reluctant to start working in network marketing, right? Because of the facade that it's it's kind of crooked, and it's hard too, right? Because you have to really put yourself out there. You have to use a lot of social selling. So what are some of the leadership skills that you learned when you were working in network marketing?
Well, it's just personal development is huge. Network marketing, you're purely working for yourself. You know, there is ones that are, you know, pyramid schemes and scams and such. But they're also legit businesses. But I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to work. You know, the ones that are real are sales companies. You've got to sell. And if you're not going to do it, if you're not going to go out and sell and build a team, I mean, you know, they say recruit, but you're building a team. And at the end of the day, that's the same thing as building a business. You can't do it by yourself. You've got to build a team. You can't do it by yourself. You want to succeed, you've got to, you know, get teammates and people, align with the right people, support team to help you grow, and you help them grow. And, you know, so leadership skills, just, you know, having the right mindset and being positive and being willing to go out there every day and push yourself to success, and knowing your why. And it's the same thing as when you build a business. You've got to know why you're doing what you're doing. And if you don't know, you're not going to succeed, whether it's in network marketing or your own brand or your own company that you want to, you know, lead to success.
Yeah, no, that's really powerful. So for you, man, when you were in network marketing, you know, was there a moment where you realized, oh my God, I need to build my own thing after this?
The first day, I mean, the first business, the first company I worked for was Herbalife, which I have nothing bad to say, and I wouldn't say anything bad. It taught me a lot, and I learned a lot. But of course, I went on from there, and I did some other ones, and I've never been someone to say no to any opportunity, unless it's just absolutely illegit, you know, or illegal or anything like that. But any opportunity that comes my way, if I believe I can make it work, I will do it, because, you know, you're only going to learn something for it. Even if you don't necessarily succeed with it, you're going to learn something from it, and you'll find out better who you are as a person and how to do better the next time. So, you know, I use those as kind of stepping stones to building my own businesses, because, you know, when you're starting your own business, you still got to pay to start your own business. And a lot of people jump to those and, oh, I've got to pay to start this. And you got to pay to start your own business. It costs a lot of money to start a business, you know, from the business licenses, the LLC fees or corporation fees, anything like that, into if you're getting, you know, marketing companies to work with you, anything like that. And a lot of those already have those done. So it's kind of nice, you know, even if it is, you know, $700-800 to get into the company and, you know, have some products or whatever, that's still a fraction of what it's going to be to start your own company, your own business, and going from there. So, you know, just finding something you're passionate about and learning from it, and taking it to, you know, eventually start your own thing if that's where you want to go.
Yeah, and I think what's so powerful about what you're saying too, Cameron, is the fact that people, and especially, you know, for us with Guide, we're building a software business, and that's even harder, because software takes time to accrue value and make sure you have the platform development right. And what I love about you is what you're saying is the resiliency that is necessary to building a business, because on day one, the business won't be profitable. It's going to take time. You're going to have to go through all of these loopholes, especially in the US, of applying for the business, waiting for the certification, finding the right business partners, potentially, you know, understand, okay, what's the gap you're going to fill? There's all these things that you have to do, but you have to take it one day at a time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at something, and I've seen a lot. I know a lot of people have seen it, but Coca-Cola, their first year, they only sold 25 bottles.
Oh, really?
Year, yeah, 25 bottles. They're one of, if not the biggest brand in the world. And their first year, the biggest brand,
and have been for like 100 years now.
Oh yeah. And so, you know, when, you know, people jump into something, and they're worried they're not going to do well, you've got to be consistent with it every day, nonstop, and, you know, whatever it takes to reach success. Otherwise, you're not really wanting it.
Yeah, it's so true, man. It's so true. So I want to ask you, you know, why do you think risk taking is so important when it comes to entrepreneurship?
It's like gambling. You wanna win, you've got to take a gamble, and that's what business is. You know, every day you go out there and you're gambling your livelihood, and you're focusing on it. And I mean, it's imperative to take that risk. And if you don't want to take that risk, then go find a job and work for someone else. But that's not what I want to do.
Yeah, no, I know. I love your mindset, Cameron. You know, when you think about legacy, how important is legacy in the work that you do? Because I think, you know, I've talked to a lot of business owners, and I think, you know, one reason, you want to have a sustainable, profitable business. But a lot of the people that I talk to who are in business, they do it for more than just the cash flow. They do it because they love the magnitude of impact, right? And it's a part of their legacy. So I would love for you to speak a little bit as someone that's building your own business, and you have other businesses too that you're working. How does your business, kind of your entrepreneurial hustle, tie back to your legacy, man?
Well, legacy, it's leaving a mark on the world. That's how I kind of see it. You want to leave. We're here for such a short time, and to leave a legacy. Have your friends and family remember you for positively impacting society. That's how I want to be remembered when I go, and in the short time I'm here. And I think that's what most people. That's why they get into business,
Yeah.
for at least for the right reasons. When you're gone, people talk about you. They go, yeah, Tim was an awesome guy. He did this. He created this. Cameron was a great guy. He created these businesses, created all these jobs for people, and the companies are still going. And they're employing hundreds of thousands of people every day, every year, and helping support families. And that's what it is. And when you help other people, you're going to get what you want anyways.
Yeah.
So.
No, is that, and Haneen is saying that this is the abundance mindset that will serve you well in network marketing. There is enough for everyone. And Cameron, this is something that we've talked about before, and I know you're a big believer in. And the pie grows when you involve more people.
Oh yeah,
and more people can find value from it. What are your thoughts on this, man?
I mean, just like what I said, you're helping other people, and you're going to get what you want. There's plenty to go around. Every day there's new businesses that are doing the same thing as other businesses, and they're wanting to succeed too. Everybody is different. So, just because business A came up doesn't mean everybody and their mother is going to go and do business with business A. Half of them might not like them. So business B pops up, does the same thing, just makes some tweaks here and there. The rest of them are going to them and business C. And, there's plenty to go around. There's, I don't even know the exact amount, but, amount of people in the world, it's like 3 billion or, somewhere up in that area. There's a lot of humans, a lot of lives in this world that you don't have to be worried about. Oh, this is oversaturated. There's a lot of businesses doing this. Get out there, do it. Put your twist on it, put your spin on it, find out what they're doing good, what they're doing not so good, and perfect on those flaws, and you'll get plenty of customers. You'll be doing just fine, and you'll be able to help all those people for whatever your goal is, and you'll get everything that you want.
Cameron, I love that you say that. There's very few in business winner take all markets, and even in cloud software and cloud collaboration software, there's Slack, and then there's many other Slack duplicates who are succeeding in their business. And
absolutely,
it's funny. I meet a lot of young business owners. I meet a lot of entrepreneurs who pitch me, and often I some of them are more optimized around the competition versus just creating value for their customers.
Yep, it's key. I mean, you want to know who's out there. You want to know, who your competitors are, what they're doing, where they're pricing their products are. But, at the end of the day, focus on what you're doing, because that's key. If you get too caught up in other people's, products and services and what they're doing, you're not going to be focusing on yours, and there's going to be issues with it. So be mindful of what's going on with other people that are doing what you're trying to do, but focus on what you're doing and make it the best that you can, and just have the goal of helping whoever it is that you're targeting.
Over delivering for your customers.
Absolutely. Over deliver, over promise, over deliver.
I love it, man. So let me ask, what do you think are the skills that are necessary for highly effective leaders who are building a business?
Listening. I definitely think listening is huge. Just like what we're doing right here, we're each listening to what's going on and, responding back to what we think. But a lot of people, talk more than they listen. I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it. I'm still working on it every day, being better at listening. The ADHD kicks in, and I want to jump in and say what I want to say, but I got to be like, yo, wait, let the person talk, and you'll get your chance. Showing versus doing, I think, is huge. When you get a new team member or employee, anything like that, I've worked in companies where the manager or whoever will just do what they're trying to show me how to do instead of really showing me and having me do it. So when you're building a team, whatever you're trying to teach, show them how to do it. Don't just do it for them, because that's not you're not going to build a good team like that. Always be open to suggestions and criticism. A lot of people don't take constructive criticism well, and I think we all need to work on that. And just because someone's telling you, hey, you're not doing this right, or don't get mad or offended by it. Take it to heart, work on it, get better at it, and then next time around they go, oh, you got better at this, or you did this better, or you just know you got better at it. And then, like I said before, you got to build a team. It takes a village to build a company, to do anything. You can't do anything on your own. You can get pretty far on your own, but you're going to get farther when you have people, a good support system, team members that are willing to help you to go that extra mile or 10 miles or, the distance, go all the way. You're not going to be able to do it on your own. And always being supportive and optimistic of whatever anyone is talking about. So if your team members are telling you something, and even if you don't think it might not be the greatest idea, support it, be optimistic about it, see if it may work. You might be surprised. It might just, come out better than you thought just by being optimistic and supporting their ideas. Another thing I've learned is, not knowing not to cross the line between friend and employee. When you're building a business, and what you guys are doing, what I'm doing right now, you bring new people in and you want to become buddies with them. And, that's fine and great. And, find maybe one or two, but when you start really growing, don't make everyone your friend. You've got to know where that line is, that, where your friends are and who your team members are, because later down the road, if something happens and you've got to lay them off or lay your whole company or whatever happens, God forbid the worst, that's never going to be an easy conversation if they're your friend. It's a lot harder. And then lastly, just being a caring and decent person, remembering that we're all humans and we all have families and lives, and just doing the right thing and caring, I think is huge. And we don't do enough of that, just like what's going on right now. We're all banding together, which is great, but it's it's a lot.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of unification happening right now in the world. But I love what you said, in terms of you as a highly effective leader, you need to be able to differentiate between the friend-employee relationship, especially long-term. One of the things that we've learned, just because we're still young as a startup at Guide, but one of the things that we've really learned and watching all of the layoffs happening with companies like Airbnb, Uber, is that, you never want to be too big.
Nope.
You can have a successful business that's sustainable, where you make sure that every employee that's within your organization is accounted for and they are fulfilling a role. And you never want to go through a situation where you're laying thousands and thousands of people off, and that's because you overcompensated for your growth and your margins and all of that. And I think that's one thing that any business owner needs to be mindful of, because you never want to have those type of conversations within your culture, within your community that you're building. And we've been just having a watchful eye on that. It's like, if you're building an organization, especially in the early days, be very intentional throughout, I think. And you see a lack thereof of intentionality in a lot of big organizations sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, when going to say that, like with WeWork, your former they had to do that in a way, and it really bites, when you're building a company, CEO, founder, anything like that, that's they become your family. And when you have to tell them, we can't help you keep going, we can't pay you anymore, we can't do this, it's all falling apart. That's just that would sadden me inside. But it happens every day. The average small business doesn't last more than 10 years. And if they do, that's awesome. It's usually the lifeline of an average one. And if they go longer, that's great. They have good culture. They have a good product, good support system, all that. They have good
leadership.
Good leadership. Yes, absolutely. And putting that together is key.
Yeah, I love that, man. So let me ask you, because this is one of you and I, we both left media. Guide, we're by default an e-learning and media company, because there's courses on our platform. I want to ask you, because there's a lot going on in media right now, and for us, we're riding this wave of bite-sized educational content. What do you see, happening in the media space? How do you see media and marketing changing post COVID-19? How should brands start engaging with their customers?
Marketing for sure. Media will change a little bit, but it'll go back. As far as film, TV, entertainment, all that, it'll go back to some sense of normalcy. But I definitely think marketing is huge. There'll definitely be a big shift in how we interact and receive, marketing and media. Indeed, there'll be some market alteration, increased consumption, demand for creative and more aggressive marketing practices, which I think is huge. And you really need to get in front of your clients. And one thing I actually just read on an article I was reading one way you can impact that marketing is just, when you're Amazon or any company that ships a product, the box that you receive it in is going to take it a step further, so you need to go and personalize even more so for the clients today, the customers. When I get when you get a package, that box, if it's cruddy and beat up, and obviously some of that you can't help, just depending on how it's shipped, but I've seen some where they come in a very cool box. You're like, whoa, this is awesome. So that'll also help keep clients and customers, because you're personalizing it even more. You're taking that extra step and spending the extra money even on the box.
Yeah.
You need to utilize more marketing creativity when promoting partners and services, because it's just going to go a lot farther. And sticking to strong integrity also is key.
As a brand.
As a brand, yeah, absolutely. Back into the product, because I've gotten stuff where you think it's one thing, you think it's going to do something, and then you get it and it doesn't do that. So and it happens all the time.
Didn't meet expectations.
Did not meet expectations, and when you get that and it does what it's going to do, that's even better.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that.
Yeah.
So if you're tuning in and listening right now, show us some love. What are you learning? What are your thoughts? Kimberly's saying we need to have these conversations that we're having right now.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Kimberly. Thank you so much, Kim. Anine is saying, as a professional listener, she's a therapist. Hey, Anine, she can't stress the importance of that. And the key is to be present and be an active listener. What are your thoughts on this, Cameron?
I mean, going back to what I said earlier, listening, active listening, actually listening to what your employees, team members are saying, what your clients and customers are saying, what your vendors are saying, and what they're telling you. You need to take that and work with it and put it into, if it's something, do this better, do that, get the feedback and put it out there and make it happen if need be. Too many people, I think, kind of push off what people say and, oh, you guys should do this. And they're like, okay, yada, yada. And they don't actually put that into action, where that could possibly help your business grow tenfold, but people are closed-minded and think they know the right way to do things and, how to make things happen. That's not always the case.
Yeah. You got to operate in synergy with your customers. That's one thing I always advocate product people to do. It's like one of my laws of continuous delivery when it comes to product management is that you want to underpromise and continuously deliver. Right? You have to continuously deliver in cadence with what the customer demand is, but you have to do a lot of listening, like you said, in order to be able to effectively do that.
Absolutely. One thing I'm trying to get better with, or I've learned, and just like you said, underpromise, deliver correctly or over deliver. I'm trying to get into over promising and over delivering. So that's even better when you can make that above and beyond promise and actually hit it and make it happen. Obviously, if you're not sure, then yes, under promise and then over deliver is always good too. But when you can put it out there that we can make this happen way up here and unbelievable, and when you actually do hit that, people's minds just explode. They're like, that's awesome, sweet, you've got a client for life.
Yeah.
And that's never changing.
That's so true. So I want to ask you, brother, as we cap things off, what are your 3 biggest recommendations or takeaways for entrepreneurs who want to build a successful business?
First off, find a problem or, figure out what your passion is, whatever that may be. Develop a strategy for success, build a plan. Figure out, where you're starting, what the problem is, and figure out what the goal is, the solution, and how you're going to get there, and develop that whole plan. If you don't build a plan, you're not going to succeed. So, and then lastly, execute that every day. Whatever that plan is, make it happen day in, day out. Consistency is key. If you're skipping days here and there, you're just not going to go as far as making it happen every day. And putting it out there and showing people that you're making it happen every day. People will be more trusting and, want to be a part of whatever it is you're doing.
I love it. I love it, man. So find your passion and make it happen.
Make it happen. Find your passion, make it happen.
You gotta have a lot of hustle.
You do. That's what it is. Key, hustle. Grind every day.
So talk to me a little bit about, where people can, find you, more about Cameron and what you're working on, brother, as well as your business.
um, Easiest way, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, all those at Cam Tendler, CAMTENDLER. I'm always putting stuff on there. And yeah, that's pretty much the easiest way to find me.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Also, some big things that you have coming down the pike, man. I know, you all at Play Oasis have made some pivots due to COVID and
Yeah. Yeah.
business. So what are some things that's coming out soon?
So we're working on a lot. We're still not straying away from what we were originally developing as far as developing live and digital experiences events. We're shifting some of the actual products that we were developing to fit more in line with what's going on today and just what's going to succeed overall, more so than maybe what we had put out before. So we have some things that we're going to be launching next year that will be coming out. So we'll be sending out more information later this year. About some events, both online, offline, and our digital media platform that we were developing. Myself, like you said, I have a lot in the works. The business consulting advisory board, I'm trying to put that together, help entrepreneurs connect and grow their businesses. Looking at developing a nonprofit to help entrepreneurs and businesses during pandemics and catastrophes.
Yeah.
During this whole pandemic, during Corona, there's been so many companies that have gone out of business, and all it could have been was, maybe a couple hundred, but a couple $1,000 would have kept them in business. It was a restaurant right down the street from my house that went out of business because it was a really good restaurant, but they just didn't have the money to stay afloat for the few months during all this. So they had to sell the space, sell their business. And, that's a family, that's lives that now you either got to go find a job now or rethink what you're doing. And that's so much time that's been put out where, just a little bit would have helped them. And maybe, from the government and didn't work and all that. So, that and quite a few other things we're working on. So always creating, always working, always hustling.
Always collaborating, man.
Always collaborating.
I love that about you, man. Cameron, man, it's truly been an honor having you on the show. We need to have you on for a future episode.
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. It's been an honor being on the show. So thank you so much for inviting me. It's been awesome.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, man. If you love this episode, please share it out. Cameron, it's been an honor, man. Talk to you soon, brother.
Tim, peace. Have a good one.
Peace, brother.
Bye.
With that said, if you loved this episode of Unleashing the Future of Work, make sure you share it out with friends on LinkedIn, on YouTube, or wherever you're tuning in from. Also, if you're interested in being on a future episode as a guest or a sponsor, please check out UTFOW.com, UTFOW.com, and you can apply to be a guest on the show or sponsor the show. In addition to that, Guide is launching our beta release in a few weeks, and we're really excited to really get into the hands of amazing creators who want to create edutainment-based content that inspires and actually moves people and helps them gain skills that they didn't even know that they had. So check out guideapp.co to learn more about our beta release program. With that said, thank you so much for tuning in. Truly appreciate you, and I wish you in this fine, lovely day, peace, love, and abundance. Talk to you soon.